Hi.
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Okay, my friends, once again, it's time to get our talk on. It's Morning Talk with me, your host, J.C. McCauley. Of course, this morning we've got Talk Champions. The champions of Talk, Miss Vicky and Miss Cleo, are with us this morning. So, buckle up. Let's get ready, as they say, to get our talk on. Morning Talk with a little jazz. It's Friday. Let's start off with Miss Cleo. I haven't seen Miss Cleo in a week. How you doing there, Miss Cleo?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Nice to be here.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you back. Been a whole week.
Yes.
Week was good.
Oh, week was good. I got a little ear infection, but now I could, I'm level now. Equilibrium is coming back. So I'm pretty good.
All right. That's good. Can't ask for much better than that. We have Miss Vicky's here too. Miss Vicky, how you doing there, Miss Vicky?
I'm doing good. Just trying to cope with all this hot weather.
Hot weather.
Good thing about it is maybe I'm losing a little weight.
Oh.
Get a little sauna going, huh?
A little sauna going. Yes, fat burning.
Oh.
You're doing a fat burn.
Calorie.
Yes,
calorie burning.
Yes,
Yeah.
We
don't use the pH word.
I thought that was the F word.
Yeah. PHAT.
PHET. Okay, if that's you use that one, that's fine. I was using the F one.
The F word.
Yes, the F word.
The horrible one. The F
Yes, the horrible one. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. So.
Yeah, there's some things men don't use around women ever, unless
That's right.
unless you're the governor of New York.
Ooh. Well, his humor could be interpreted a certain way, as he said.
Yeah, bless his heart.
Well, I hope they're all happy.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, I think so.
He is. I mean,
In 2 weeks, he said. He gave his 2 weeks notice, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to rescind that. Yeah, he's gone.
Well, it'll be interesting to see.
Could he go on to higher aspirations?
Sure,
but it didn't hurt Biden. I mean, Biden has his own issues going on. You can't really throw stones at anybody if it's like if your house isn't clean, how can you complain about how somebody else is a housekeeper?
You put your trash in their backyard. That's all.
Maybe so.
I'm going to discuss it with the news media. I'm just so sick of them. Oh, I am just so sick of them.
It's lost something. It's
nothing.
It's nothing now, right?
Sensationalism every day.
Yeah, it's like every day. It's like every day is like the National Enquirer.
I don't trust them whatsoever.
The era of trust in reporting is gone.
They're not Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite is gone.
Yes, but they don't have. I don't know.
Well, they're not journalists. See, those
they're performers.
Yeah,
they're actors and
the men
actresses.
that you talk
You
about.
talk about TV news.
Yeah,
I'm talking about TV because that's the one. That one. I'm saying turn that off.
And people are turning it off.
I'm turning it off. One thing after the other, and then there's the news about the pandemic is just totally. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. It is so ridiculous. I'm saying,
what's the positivity rate today? Less than 3%. Well, then why are you talking about it?
I'm tired of them.
It's gotten really bad because it's just sensationalism. It's as though they're chasing after ratings by getting your attention, and it's just spiraling into the toilet. Mm-hmm. And it's
and they skip it. Go to a prayer meeting and they're praying this stuff, and I'm saying, oh my,
praying about it.
praying the pandemic, and we could, pray for all these people, and we do pray for them.
Yes.
But let's just calm down.
I know.
Yeah, it's as though the whole thing is starting all over.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too.
It's
and the politicians are contributing to this with all of these mask mandates and all of this stuff, and
Well, no one knows. We're after a year, after 18 months, going on 20 months, I guess, maybe even 21 months. After all this time, they still haven't learned how to manage the situation. Right. This is crisis management, and they haven't learned how to manage the crisis. So they've never moved beyond reaction. But it's just reaction. I see a lot of monkey see, monkey do again.
They're going toward, more toward mistrust. People mistrusting them than they are people
building trust.
They're not building trust. They're eliminating trust. It's ridiculous.
I don't think it's that they're trying to build or eliminate. Their actions are causing people to lose trust, I would say.
Yeah, well, that's
because they're not trying to do anything except the news media is not trying to do anything except grab your attention away from social media. They're in it seems to me they're in survival mode.
Yeah, they are.
They're doing anything and everything they can to attract your attention, because without your attention, they don't have viewers or readers. And without viewers or readers,
they go out of business.
They go out of business because they need numbers like everyone else. If they don't have the numbers, they can't get the advertisers.
Right. Don't you think if they just did real news, they'd have the attention? I mean, real news.
No, because real news is not getting the attention, so that's why they're going towards sensationalism. If it bleeds, it leads. And so, it's one sensational moment after the other. And if they were in entertainment as opposed to news, they might know that by now, because remember the Wayans?
Yeah.
In Living Color?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can only do sensationalism for so long, and then it wears thin. I mean, what are you going to do next?
Yeah. They don't have a plan B, it sounds like.
Yeah. You remember the episode they did with Oprah?
Who, the Wayans?
The Wayans.
No, I don't remember that one.
They did an episode with Oprah because Oprah has a fluctuating weight issue.
Okay, yeah.
Well, back then it was this
I remember
many
when she
years
lost
ago.
all of the weight.
She lost weight, she would gain weight, she would lose weight, she would gain weight. And so the Wayans did they did a one of their skits where she was eating she kept gaining weight, more
and
weight.
She was eating the chicken. Oh,
yeah, it was just hilarious. And then of course they did the episode with Louis Farrakhan.
Oh Lord, I didn't see that.
I mean, they were.
What did they do with him?
I think he was. It was on the bridge of the Enterprise. He was. It was Star Trek.
Okay.
And it was just hilarious. But they were so cutting edge and so ahead of their time. But the problem was that every episode was like over the top humor. It's hard to come back with more over the top humor.
Right.
I mean, if you start off at 100%, there is nowhere else to go. And except down, you have to have an extremely talented writing staff to keep you at that level. And high octane is not easy to keep delivering.
Why they went off the air.
Episodes start to fall flat.
Yeah.
I mean, it went off the air for many things, but if the episodes are good, funny, and continue, like I stopped watching Saturday Night Live many decades
Saturday
ago.
Night
It just went into the toilet. It should have ended decades ago.
I don't understand. 40 years on TV.
It's become an institution.
Yeah, and it's not funny, and it's a lot of it is recycled material.
Yeah, it's hard. But the news media is in that same thing, because how many times can somebody get shot? Well, generally once, but over and over, you just keep reporting people got shot, people got shot, people got shot, people got shot. Yes. Taxes went up. It's going to snow. It's going to hurry. I mean, there's only so much.
What they do to the weather is, I mean, really, they get really dramatic about the weather.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a front coming in from the east. Yeah. Calm down.
Yeah. We've got a severe thunderstorm. Watch for these counties and stay away from your windows. Well, I hadn't planned to go to the window anyway. What makes you think now that I hear this, I'm going there? Because you told me not to?
We're going to experiment like Ben Franklin did at 6. We've got kites, we've got wind, we've got a key. Can we do it? And,
Doppler radar says it's going to be pinpointed it right to these streets.
Oh, and then when the snowstorm
and then it doesn't happen. Now, last night, I was thinking, okay, that we've got this severe thunderstorm, so I've moved everything off my calendar. And then what happens? I hear a couple of rumbles of thunder, and then next thing you know, the sun is out. Okay? So I postponed everything based on this weather report that, well, it ended up hitting the area that I was going to, so I was glad I didn't do that. But I mean, my own general area.
Yeah, the weather, rather than just tell you, look, there's a 50% chance of rain. Right. It's going to be pretty nice out here. Moderate humidity is going to be X,
Take an umbrella
Z,
with you.
and boom. But that doesn't sell. It used to, but it doesn't anymore. So now it's got to be weather on the 3s. So,
So we have to make a decision. Are we going to sit there and look at this thing, or we're going to turn off the TV and do something else?
People are going online.
That's right.
So they're going online. So watching Netflix, Hulu, YouTube,
Roku,
whatever
it is.
Yeah. And once they're there, they don't come back.
No.
Because now you know who's got good news lately? Channel 30.
Yes.
Channel 30 has this news broadcast. It comes on like at
4:00.
Well, because of 4:00 news, but there's a guy that does news, and it's really kind of different. My wife and I started watching it. It's actually very good. It's not a lot of sensationalism. It's more like interviews and,
Not the guy that comes on at 7. Is that the one?
It might be that.
Oh yeah, the after Lester Holt.
Yeah, because usually it would be something stupid like, one of those entertainment, trash cans, and
from 7 to 7:30.
Yeah, and it's just him.
It's just him, yeah.
And I'm like,
it is good. It's short, it's sweet, it's to
news.
the point, and it's like it's bullet point.
Boom, boom, boom.
And some of it is positive, not all of it is negative.
Right. It's kind of an even balanced approach to what went on today. Mm-hmm. Which is what you want to know.
Yeah, the important things that you need to know. You don't need to know all this other stuff, all in the weeds, and
Right. But
have I seen it? I think I have seen it.
It's actually very good. It's actually very good. Mm-hmm. It pulls me away from NPR.
It's clever too, because right after the national news, you're inclined to you may be inclined to shut it off because you know that the entertainment show is coming on afterwards, so you shut it off. But
extra.
How many more extras? Is extra still on or is that off?
I don't know.
I think it's off. But anyway, so you watch the national news and then you hear the local news come on, and then you say, "Oh, but this is different." Mm-hmm. So you watch it,
and it's actually very good.
Yeah,
I have to pay more attention to it.
Check it out. That's what they need to do, and then word of mouth will go out, and people will start watching it, and it'll have an organic growth as opposed to a hyped growth. But as you mentioned at the beginning of the program, all this stuff. Oh my goodness! You'd think that the Delta variant left purple polka dots on people's faces. Like you could see it. You can't. The only way you
What is
could
it with
tell.
these illustrations too? That's this thing that this so-called virus looks like. This little gray.
The
thing,
virus
this
is
little gray
clear.
thing with these little dots. And I'm like,
That-
what is?
that's not what
that?
it
Why
looks
do they
like.
Keep showing that.
It doesn't look like it. It's
I know.
clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Oh, it's not that thing with the little things pointing on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's microscopic.
It
There's not that color. It's clear. It's clear. But they add this for, I guess, dramatic.
Yeah.
Taking dramatic license on science. Mad science. So but it the only way you can tell whether or not you have the Delta variant is through a test.
Right.
So it's like what version of the common cold do you have?
Yeah. Pretty
They just call it the cold, a
Right.
cold, or the flu. They don't give you the. So it sounds more deadly. Now, it's clear that this is not going anywhere. We're going to be this. The COVID has been around for a long time, and this is going to stay around for a long time. So,
And the politicians are going to make sure it stays around because they need a crisis to continue.
well, it's actually, but it's real though.
It is real.
It is real, and it's not going to go anywhere. So the question is, where do we as a society, how do we react and respond to this? Are you forever going to be in a state of hysteria? Because that's what this is.
Yeah, it is.
It's mass hysteria.
And even I'm starting to notice, even when I go to the stores now, people are starting to repeat the pattern of buying things in multiple quantities to the point where you go there. And I'm telling you,
Stuff is gone.
I walked into the place and I said, this looks like Cuba. Like, what the heck is this? Meat is gone. Prices are highest. This is the United States of Cuba. That's sad.
Yeah, there's clearly some panic buying going on.
Yeah. I mean, people are stocking up. I mean, you see them with these carriages, with this overflow of meat. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You really going to eat all that meat?
I hope they do before it goes bad.
I hope so, too. Well, let's just assume they were having a cookout.
But but it's like a state of mass hysteria. It's like
Cleaning
War of the
products,
Worlds.
too. A lot of cleaning products gone.
Oh, you can't find what you want in cleaning products.
Yeah.
No.
Or if you do, you got to drive to a few stores.
to
And then
get
when
it,
you see it,
yeah.
you got to get it. And I mean, just not hoarding it. Just buy one of it, and that's, large size, and that's it. So they're starting it again. Next
It's like it's starting all over again.
Yeah.
We're on a hamster wheel.
To whose benefit?
Big business, I think.
To whose benefit?
Big
Who's
business, and I
who's
think-
making the money now?
I don't
Well-
know that anybody's making money. I mean,
Well,
every
mass-
day you buy stuff, and you're going to buy stuff from the supermarket.
Right.
I don't think it's beneficial because they run out. They can't stock stuff right,
There,
Well, that's the problem. When
and
you go to
that's
the
a
stores.
problem for the store.
everything is going up. They're buying more. It seems to me somebody's making something. Now they're talking about the booster
Prices have gone up.
prices.
Right, but don't forget we're also there's also inflation happening.
Oh, yeah.
So the power of your dollar goes down
Absolutely.
as prices
The
go
power-
up because there's more money in the marketplace. So in an effort to get more of the money, prices start to go up.
Price gouging.
What is that because of all the money that the government's giving away, or
In some degree.
Yeah, they got to get it back. Some kind of way.
There's billions and billions of more dollars in the system. Well, so how do you get that? How do you get the money? If someone's not giving it to you, you have to either earn it or increase your rate so that you get more of it. It's a great time to get jobs, if nothing else. Because
Yeah.
there are a lot of jobs out there.
And they're sweetening the pot.
They have to because
Yeah.
people aren't.
they're not going out to get the job.
They don't want the jobs. They're picky now. Once upon a time, people had to do something, so they would take the job, and the employer was
now the employer, now the shoe is on the
other foot now.
Yeah, the employers were very picky, and now
the employees are picky.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the kind of person I want to work for.
You don't allow me to work from home. I can't pick up my children. Sorry.
I've got little ones, and I don't think that they really ought to be about their father and their mother, so I'm going to stay home. If you don't have that, I don't want to have to come all the way into the city. I just did 18 months.
Those dreadful squeegee people. Oh, no.
Oh, speaking of squeegee people, the panhandlers are out of control.
Oh.
I mean, these cats are just straight out of control. I'm like,
They're out there.
There's a good example of arresting your way out of a problem. Put these guys off the street. Yes, that's what I said. Because, see, every time I go past the place, it's the same people. Mm-hmm. It's the exact same people.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I gave the first week. That's it. I'm done.
This is not a fundraising campaign. You don't just keep
right, and then you trash in the corner.
Yeah.
You done wore out the grass, and now you got your clothes there, all your old food from all week.
Bishop's Corner. I never thought the day that I would see that in West Hartford. Bishop's Corner. Same guy, same woman.
They're all over the place. Yeah. In fact, I see them. They rotate. They rotate.
Sure
they rotate locations. So they'll be at one place. Then they'll go down to another place. Then they're over by Walmart.
Yes.
They're at all the different intersections. The guy yesterday, I seen a guy. He was juggling.
Juggling what?
I went to Best Buy and I have to come back to Best Buy.
He was
not satisfied.
On exit 35.
Windsor exit.
The Windsor.
Who, the juggler?
Juggling. Yes.
Yeah. There's a guy. He's out there juggling. I saw him yesterday getting off the highway by Channel 30. As you come down to the mall,
yes,
or to the shopping center,
right,
where Sears used to be,
yes,
yeah,
and he was juggling. I said, well, how about that? You go ahead.
Boy, he gets around.
You have to, because you'll wear out your corner. The same traffic comes through there every single day. It's not like there's new traffic. This is their route, and so after they've oversaturated the marketplace. And this is real basic. Yeah. This is real basic supply and demand and market. And you present the fact that you have a need. You close the deal quickly. You make the ask. The person parts with their money. Now the women were doing real good because no one wants to see a woman on the street, begging.
No.
But now it's like, sis, get a job.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. Or when they have their child with them, I really get mad.
Oh, for sure.
I haven't seen any out there with the children.
I have seen it near Walmart. I've seen a woman with a child out there.
That I don't know what the deal is with that, because the DCS finds out about that.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe that's what happened.
They're done.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I have seen it. Near Walmart.
Yeah, they need to do a home visit, see if she has enough slices of bread in the house. You don't have only 3 slices of bread. You give us your children.
Sounds that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. The inspector's house isn't like that, but yours has to be check the temperature of your water. Make sure you've got square ice.
Jeez.
Wow. Well, yeah. So that's where we are in America.
Yeah.
That is where we are. It's, I don't know. Take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stick and stay.
Independent thinkers are Puerto Rican, Mexican, Peruvian, Indian, Bosnian, Italian, Irish, Jamaican, African American, European, straight, gay, Nigerian, transgender, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, short, tall, skinny, rich, poor, happy, sad. Some of us hold a PhD and others a GED. And though we may be Democrats, Republicans, or members of the Working Families Party, we all have escaped the plantation of party politics and become independent thinkers because we as individuals are more than a party. You see, independent thinkers come from all walks of life. And the one thing we all have in common is that we love, live, laugh, and learn in the city of Hartford. We are the constituents, and the government of Hartford belongs to us. My name is J. Stan McCauley. I'm an independent thinker, and I approve this message because it's time to stop towing the party line and vote for a candidate you can trust. You too can escape the plantation of party politics if you have the courage to free your political mind.
This is up in Springfield, Massachusetts. This is Dewey's. This is a jazz lounge. The gentleman in the gold shirt, this is his gig, and I got the emergency call. Stan, can you come up? So I went up, and it was, believe it or not, it was almost to the day, like 5 years. That they called me before in an emergency. He's in New Jersey though, but check him out, burnjazz.com. It's the morning show, and we will be playing selections from them throughout the upcoming weeks. And now that things have broken in terms of what's happening, I like to go out and do tape jazz stuff, because of course I get the best seat in the house. And so and you can get. I love tape and jazz. I love tape and jazz. So yeah.
Got an article here.
What do you got?
Heat and humidity, a dangerous combination.
Heat and humidity.
Yeah. This is actually from 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Is it 5? Oh, no, it's more than that. 6 or 7 years ago. And this article was in the Hartford Courant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was submitted by someone from the Haddam Volunteer Fire Company. And basically it just says what happens when dehydration happens to people. And specifically some people that are older than 65, it's triggered by standing up too quickly, but also by dehydration. And so if you're dehydrated, they say the fluid in your blood will be reduced and your blood pressure will decrease, making it harder for the nervous system to stabilize blood pressure and increasing your risk of fainting. So they say when it comes to staying hydrated, the general guideline is 64 ounces of prevention. So that's fluids a day. And it doesn't have to all be water, but it shouldn't be mostly beer. Sorry, beer drinkers. Alcohol is
scotch.
Yeah, alcohol is a diuretic. Bourbon. Something that causes an increase in output of bodily fluids. So you lose more water than you take in. So they say 8 ounces, 8 and 8 is the guideline. 8 ounces of 8-ounce glasses per day of water is enough to keep the average person hydrated. So you can start off by having just 2 glasses in the morning when you first wake up, and then throughout the day. Then you don't feel it, because as fast as you're putting it in, you're pushing it out. So that's a good sign. Your kidneys are working too. So they say,
plus you sweat.
Yeah, this is it, perspiration. And this is where I'm getting to now, where they talk about heat exhaustion. So there's heat-related illnesses: heat rash, heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. That's scary stuff. Heat exhaustion is an illness that can precede a heat stroke. So these are the symptoms: heavy sweating, rapid breathing, and a fast and a weak pulse. And so the CDC recommends that a person is suffering from heat exhaustion move to a cooler location, lie down, and loosen clothing. Apply cool, wet cloths to as much of your body as possible, and sip water. And they said if you vomit, you got to get medical attention. You can't just treat that. Now, the heat stroke is the next level. They say a heat stroke is a life-threatening illness in which the body temperature may rise above 106 degrees in minutes. Symptoms include hot, red, dry, or moist skin, rapid, strong pulse, and dizziness, and the person may appear confused. And they said call 911 immediately. This is a medical emergency.
This is heat stroke.
This is heat stroke. And if you're helping somebody who's a victim of heat stroke, Their core temperature needs to be cooled right away, so you move them into a cool environment. They said in a pinch, an air-conditioned vehicle works. You reduce body temperature with cool cloths or a cool bath. I don't know how you can do that in a car, so I guess cool cloths. Cool water immersion has proven very effective, but do not give fluids, which can cause a stroke. So the idea is, I guess, to get the body temperature cool. And then they say that OSHA has recommended that employers have complete a heat illness prevention program to help heat illnesses. This includes providing workers with water, rest, shade, and gradually increasing workloads and more frequent breaks for new workers or workers who've been away for a week to build a heat tolerance. Modifying work schedules is necessary, planning for emergencies, and training workers about symptoms of heat-related illnesses. And they say for everyone else, drink water and drink some more. Body is made up. It's a principal chemical component, makes up 60% of the body weight. And every system in your body depends on it. So water flushes out the toxins of vital organs, and it carries nutrients to cells and provides a moist environment for ear, nose, and throat tissues. Remember, stopping for water, rest, and shade will keep you going in and out of the danger zone. Yeah. So that was in the, believe it or not, Hartford Current, August 9th, 2015.
2015.
And that dehydration is nothing to fool around with. I can tell you from personal experience, my late sister experienced dehydration shortly before she passed away. And of course, she was physically and mentally challenged, and so you have to pay attention to the elderly, to people who can't, and also people who can't necessarily verbalize to you that, hey, I'm hot, something is going wrong. Now, the group home she was at, excellent. They knew her well enough where they knew that she wasn't herself, and they took her to the hospital immediately, twice. But ultimately, it wasn't the dehydration that ended up, taking her out of this world. It was the actual condition of the epilepsy and the mental retardation. But the dehydration was dealt with. But you have to, when people are in a situation like that, they can't tell you. So people that are in group homes or that, that kind of environment, you got to watch them very carefully. Elderly people, check on your neighbors, find out how they're doing. My mom has been doing great. I mean, she was outside in the shade with her friends at the rehab, and they were doing. They had a concert the other night, and then I went to that, and it was, very, very cool. Trees were surrounding. She said they were out yesterday too, but it was on the shaded side. There was a breeze because the facility's surrounded by trees, and they were drinking water and having popsicles. And I said, well, as long as you're having a good time and nobody was feeling faint. She said, oh, no, we're having a great time. I said, okay. That's all that matters. So, yeah. But there's some scary heat. I'm driving around right now, and I would really advise people to do this, is I'm driving around with a lot of water in my vehicle because, and I also carry cups. I didn't do ice today, but in case your car breaks down and you're out there in the thick of it, you got to have water, because while you're waiting for your car for somebody to help you, this is scary heat.
It sneak up on you. I guess you have to be just as prepared in the summertime as you do in the winter.
Yeah, in the wintertime is because you got to keep warm. You got to have blankets and all of that stuff. Yeah. But you got to really, this is nothing to play around with. And you can't move fast in this weather either. I've learned that you just have to slow down. What you can do, you can do. What you can't do, wait till the next day.
My husband's always saying to me, I'm saying, come on, hurry up. And I know he can't walk fast. But I get frustrated, And he says, just because you could walk fast, that doesn't mean I could walk fast. I'm not putting the guilt on me, right?
Slow down, Cleo.
And I'm running around doing it, and he's just glue. And I said, "Oh my God, get out of my way!"
Oh my goodness.
And he said, "It actually, it's I have to slow down, not him.
Yeah.
I'm the one that really has to slow down and take it easy because I don't know."
The challenge in all of this is a challenge, and the challenge. The other part of that is as we were talking off camera is food preparation. You know, how much cold food can you really eat? You know,
a lot, a lot.
Yeah,
I eat a lot of cold food, and then I have to cook meat.
Yeah, the meat thing is the challenge. Though.
I don't really like cooking meat, but.
Can you grill?
I grill. I do grilling. I grill. You know, I grill mushrooms. You know.
Wow, that's the challenge. And what do you do with portobello?
Yes, I like a hamburger. You know,
okay.
I grill it and season. And I put garlic and onions and everything, and I put it on a grill, and I put it between two pieces of bread, and it is
delicious.
You can't tell me I don't have a hamburger.
Well, I'm doing a lot with tomatoes. Tomatoes, these bushes have taken on a life of their own since my neighbor has planted them a couple of years ago, and it is really they have spread, and that's only in the front. In the rear part of the house, there's a set of trees that are in the behind the garage, and I haven't even gone back there yet. But a lot of them were first they were green, and then it was like all of a sudden overnight they turned red, and so I got a lot of tomatoes, and I'm just picking them. You know,
in your yard?
In the yard, yeah.
Oh, I use tomatoes now more than I've ever used them before.
And I'm going back to my tried and true recipe, which is the olive oil, the basil, the oregano, the onions, and the tomatoes all cooked together. Now I added, believe it or not, yellow peppers, yellow bell peppers.
Bell peppers,
And that really, and cooking white cooking wine. So I didn't do that last year. Remember last year when we had Sid Shulman on? And
yes.
I did not do that last year, but this year the cooking wine adds. It really does something to it. It just the consistency.
I have to remember that recipe.
Yeah.
And what are you making? The tomatoes and
just the tomatoes that I picked from and you could do this for any tomato, you know.
But they're like hard tomatoes, not the. Or you just
actually cut them in half. A little bit of kosher salt, but the olive oil and the garlic, and you let that saute. And then at that point, you can throw in your onions because that'll flavor the oil, the peppers, and the last is the tomatoes. And then you add your seasonings to all of that. Whatever I do, onion powder, a little bit of garlic, black pepper, basil, oregano. Even a little
fresh?
No, just dried. Just dried. And a little bit of turmeric for inflammation and antibacterial properties. And you know, you can actually with that recipe, you have it even at room temperature, so you don't have to heat it up. It tastes good hot, but it tastes even better at room temperature. Yeah.
I'll have to try it. I have to.
Yeah, don't be to experiment. You know, you may a yellow pepper may not, but you might want to try a green pepper. You might want to try a red pepper.
I got these farmers market. They're peppers, and they're red, green, and a little yellow in them, and they're about that big. And I got a little bag of them, so I may
try
that. Yeah. I love the farmers market. I wish it was around here all year round.
Yeah.
Now when you say the farmers, are these the ones that throughout the city, or?
Yes, they're the ones that comes to the senior center, and then
are they still coming to one? Is it still going on in the one at the North End? Yeah, Coventry.
Coventry Wednesdays.
Okay, Wednesdays. Okay, I never forgot.
And
I
they
always
give us-
forget that they are even out
Mm-hmm.
there.
They give this book where they give us,
They used to advertise a lot more.
where they give us the $3 book where we can buy, and it has all the locations and the times
Oh.
of
Are they still doing
all the ones
entertainment?
all over the city.
Are they still doing the entertainment up there, or was that kind of?
During that time?
Yeah.
They have like little bands would come out and play
Oh yes, they
jazz.
still do that.
Still do that?
Yeah, they still do that. They have people also selling different things. But I only look at the food.
Well, of course.
That's the only thing I'm interested in is the food and the strange thing I never seen before. I got these green leafy vegetables. They had little leaves, long stems. I had never seen that before, and it was Western. He says, "What do you do with this?" Because I'm always trying new things. Well, he says you juice it. You could juice it, or you could stir fry it, or So I'm afraid to stir fry it. He says it's a little.
What's it look
Maybe
like?
a
Is it
little
long with long leaves?
No, the leaves are about small leaves, but long stems. It's got a lot of stems on it. I've never seen it before. I've juiced it twice.
How does it taste?
It tastes pretty good. I juiced it with celery and with apples.
Green apples?
No, red apples.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm a Granny Smith girl.
I juice those, and it had a nice sweet taste to it.
Yeah.
Now, how do you know that that's the green and not the apple or whatever else is in there?
How do I know?
You say it has a sweet taste to it, so you can tell.
No, it's the sweet taste is the apple.
Yeah.
So okay, because I was thinking that the green leafy vegetable was sweet.
No.
Okay, because I was gonna say, how do you know? Can you
No,
taste?
by itself, no, it's not sweet.
Yeah, when you
Okay.
add apples to things, I've been doing a lot of cooking with apples, with my red cabbage. That has been a game changer for me. And because I do a sweet and sour cabbage, red cabbage. And let me tell you, when I make that, there is nothing left in my house. Nothing left. There are no such things as leftovers when I make that.
Really?
Yeah. You do it with bacon. You fry the bacon. You can do it crispy. You can actually put it on top when it's done. But the bacon never makes it to the topping because I eat it before I. but it's bacon. The bacon drippings, a red wine or a cider vinegar, salt, brown sugar, and you stir that together. Then you add your red cabbage. And red cabbage is interesting because a lot of people always say, well, I don't know what to do with it. If you do sweet and sour cabbage, you will always know what to do with it. And then so you cut the cabbage, you throw it in there, and you let that cook. And then you add, you're adding water a little bit to this so that it steams. And then I throw in some Granny Smith apples, or I don't have Granny Smith, so I just use any apple that I have in the house. Remove the skin, throw it in there, and it just all cooks together nicely. And then at some point, I'll add even a little more brown sugar and maybe a little bit more of the cider or the red wine or water, and just let that cook, and then it cooks right down. It's a beautiful color, and the taste is bellissimo. That's all I can say.
You like to cook?
Yeah, I do.
I can.
I do. I really enjoy. It's something that I really enjoy. Yeah, I do. And I got a thing for cookbooks too.
Oh, I love cookbooks. I
just got 2.
Oh.
Don't go to Goodwill, because they got good cookbooks there.
Oh, that's who you think. My son was volunteering at Goodwill, and he hid this book from me all day when I went to pick him up. I was so excited.
What's the name of it?
I don't know. But it's for vegans.
Oh, okay, vegans. Okay.
And it's a big. Oh my gosh! I use it all the time. I was so excited. But most of my cookbooks are
without pictures. or with pictures?
No, it doesn't have too many
Oh,
pictures.
see, I gotta have pictures. I'm visual. I gotta see it.
No,
I picked up the last one I picked up was the Stonewall Kitchen Breakfast Cookbook.
The Stonewall Kitchen Breakfast Cookbook.
Yes. Not to be confused with the Stonewall Club, Stonewall Inn in New York, but this is the Stonewall Kitchen. They do a lot of specialty foods, and the recipes in there for breakfast.
I don't like long recipes. I got some Williams Sonoma.
Oh, I like Williams and
cookbook,
Sonoma.
and now those are full of pictures.
I like their store even better. Have you been to the store?
Oh yeah.
Oh, their store.
But I, when you got 14 things to put in a recipe, I don't like that. But I have to really desire what they have.
A friend of mine that used to do cooking, he used to always tell me, lay your ingredients out first for the recipe. And then that's the best way. So put it on a tray, he said, and then work from the tray.
I used to like, I like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind cooking what I eat, but it takes too long. I've grown impatient over the years because I like to bake stuff.
Baking is good.
I like dessert.
Oh.
So if it was up to me, that's all that would. Dinner would be dessert.
Dinner would be dessert.
Yes,
That's all right.
Several types of desserts.
So you do the exact opposite. So you like dessert.
You must have been on a lot of punishments when you were young because all you wanted to eat was dessert. If you don't eat your food, you can't have your dessert.
No, I was never one of those kids. I used to always eat. I ate whatever was served, so I wasn't one of those kids that
turn your nose up at what mom makes, huh?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
It didn't occur to me. I mean, it was that was never that was never an issue. I like spinach. I liked vegetables, and so whatever was for dinner was what we ate, and there was never a if you don't eat this then that.
Yeah, right.
I don't like lima beans.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about that either.
And I made lima beans the other way. I was crazy lima beans.
Lima beans are just horrible.
I love black beans. I like pigeon peas, gandules, as they say in Spanish.
Right. Beans,
Yeah.
I don't mind, but lima beans, there's just something. They're green and they're big, and they used to come with something. Lima beans, and I remember frozen vegetables. Remember when frozen vegetables first came out?
Yeah.
You had peas and carrots, spinach, lima beans.
Green.
Ho ho ho! Green giant. Bird's eye. Green giant.
Too. They don't show him on TV anymore.
No, I think he's politically incorrect.
Because he's green.
Green.
Kermit is out of style too, I guess. Huh?
It's politically incorrect because he's green.
He's green.
Green, yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. Green power, I thought. I don't know. I guess that's the next
Who
thing.
is that
know.
insulting? Who is that insulting?
He looks like a. He kind of looks like a
Well, I guess Lou Ferrigno must be out of the Incredible Hulk. He was green too. Think about it.
It was green.
The Hulk was green.
I liked him too.
Out of uniform, huh?
He had a little speech impediment. I thought that was kind of cute.
Oh, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Big Lou. He Yeah, that's right. He played Bill Bixby.
Yeah.
And then when the Incredible Hulk,
right,
that was Lou.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Bill Bixby was a big star at the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Courtship of Eddie's Father was big.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Bixby?
Bill Bixby. Yeah.
Bill Bixby.
He'd been around character actor for many years
yeah.
too.
There was another. Why got the guy? Highway to Heaven. Remember Highway to Heaven? Michael Landon. Yeah. He used to walk on. He was an angel, right?
Yes. He and Victor French. Yeah.
Yeah. He had a Wayback Machine.
They're still on Cozy.
Yeah, I watch Cozy. We watch Cozy
Yes.
TV
Yes.
on
Yeah.
Pizza Night,
Yeah, I
which
love
is
the shows on
Saturday, and we always Columbo,
Columbo. Yes.
Yeah.
Emergency.
Yeah.
You know, Emergency's hilarious. Now I remember when
Compared to what
Emergency
it is
came
now.
on. When it first came on, it was very forward, very progressive. You know, and
That was like before Third Watch. You remember Third Watch?
Third Watch. I don't remember Third Watch.
Yeah, Third Watch was. That's probably about 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. NBC.
See, those shows I didn't, because I've since I was 19, I've worked second shift.
Mhm.
So my work time, my optimal work time is from 3:30 to midnight.
Mm.
And at midnight I still eat dinner.
Is that right?
At
That's
midnight.
what they do in Spain, right?
That's what
11
I
o'clock?
get out of work. That's what time I've been eating dinner at midnight since I was 19. Because that's what I come home from Pratt and Whitney, and I would eat. And still to this day, that's when I eat.
And then go to bed.
Well, he's up for a few hours.
Well, I'm up for a few hours. I don't go to bed till about 2 o'clock. I go to bed at 2.
And what time?
I get up at 6.
So 4
Between
hours.
5 and 6, I get up.
That's only 4 to 3 hours of sleep.
Then I might take a nap during the day, unless it's busy. Like I haven't had a chance to take a nap lately because I've been buried.
Well, today, are you going to take a nap?
It's on the schedule
Oh, very good.
Take a nap.
to
Take
take
a
a
nap.
nap, but I have pre-production for tomorrow's West Indian Day parade.
Oh, wow. That
And
snuck
so
up on me.
we're doing the parade live. So
Where they to where?
the parade route is from Haven Skate Park, Bushnell Park.
Haven Skate Park. Where is that? In Windsor?
No, the Haven Skate Park is
That's
right
So they don't
Oh,
actually
down there.
across from.
do
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, gone. That
Never gonna do that again.
probably not. The powers that be. It's not
They don't
part
even
of the
do
big
the.
picture.
They don't even do the. What is it? The Feast of San Juan anymore. That used to be on Main Street.
So it's never gonna be in the neighborhood again.
No, of course not.
I don't see it being in there, and I don't know. I mean,
Who are the powers to be? Who are they?
well, I have no idea who they are. I mean, there's a lot of people speculating who they are, but there's always a group of people who are behind the scenes who have the capacity and the power to pick up phone and influence everything.
Is that the West Indians or somebody else?
No. This is someone else. But a combination of things. It's not always nefarious. But for the West Indian Day Parade, I believe it was a conscious decision and an effort to stop it from being downtown. I mean, down North End, moving up, and make it from a downtown. I don't know who it was, but after the parade was over, a young man was shot, and that was exploited to make the change. Political types exploit situations and opportunities to move agendas forward. Not just them, but
Well, the shooting
Yeah.
is still going on, by the way. So,
oh my goodness!
I mean, you know,
it's
if
out
that-
of
if that
control
was-
right now.
I person that picked up the phone and made the phone call is still alive. I mean, hello, has it stopped? No.
It's
And
not
it's-
gonna stop because
not going to
it's there's nothing people can really. There's nothing you can do per se. There are things you can implement that might change conditions and environment where these types of activities take place. But
I mean, this last one with the shooting with the in-laws, what was that all about? The guy was from Georgia and ends up shooting shooting a brother-in-law over something that happened. It's like a revenge kind of thing going on.
But you don't have control over those things.
No, you don't. Those are family situations.
Right. Most stuff like that's why it's always dangerous. Jonathan Small and I have had this conversation for 20 years. It's always dangerous when politicians talk about how, crime is out of control and shootings and we have to do something. And in my administration, it's out. You have no control.
Can't do that.
You have no control over it. So to suggest such is to exploit tragedy for political gain. And, now poverty concentrates the conditions where these kinds of conflicts are resolved through violence. But violence is used as a means to resolve conflict all over the planet. But if you take people who are, in survival mode and put them all together, then you're going to have an increase in conflicts being resolved in that manner. But, if you watch like PBS, that's all the British seem to do. Just kill each other. So, I mean, Midsummer Murders, Sumter Murders. Every program is about one murdering somebody.
And I noticed the men are not
Father Downing murder mysteries. I mean, it's always some sort of.
BBC, they're not particularly very attractive looking.
What?
On the BBC, those guys that come on these police shows, compared to our police shows.
Because they're regular people. Police.
Police shows, the American police shows, the guys, they look nice. The actors look great.
They're like movie stars.
Well, But those guys, the England.
They're more, I think, the English, they're more realistic.
Yes.
I think that's what it is.
That's what people actually look like.
They actually...
Not to say that there aren't good-looking Englishmen, because they are.
They're actually much better actors than Americans. Ooh. I think. I'm sorry.
Well,
I won't say that. I'm sorry.
Well,
I won't say
that.
I'll say a different sort of acting. They're just different.
It's more substantive. I think that you're right.
I think that there's more given to the development of the character. And it may be
the writers
well, they have good writing, but
we don't always
the Americans have good writing. I think it may be a little bit what Vicky alluded to with the good-looking cop, because the people look people. The character development is more. Well, let me rephrase that.
Yeah,
there's just more character development because the character is less driven on aesthetics and more on what they exude as the character. So you buy into the character as opposed to, oh, wow, she's hot. Oh, he's a hunk.
Yeah.
Instead of them looking good.
They just look like people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Tom Cruise jumps off of a plane.
Yeah.
Rolls onto the ground. Gets onto a motorcycle, takes the helmet off, and his hair is perfect.
Yeah, that's not real.
I mean, it's ridiculous. That's American music.
The British they do have a different way of than those programs. One of the things I've noticed is that they tend to be quite diverse. More diverse, I think, than the American actors and actresses, the programming that I've seen on there. And you also see certain characters. You'll see the certain actors from other BBC programs will be on other shows, But you're right. Like I was watching, what is it, I don't call it Masterpiece Theater anymore. It's now Masterpiece. And it's not Alistair Cook anymore. It's certainly more. It's really upgraded and more contemporary.
They do not jump into bed every 5 seconds.
It's a story. It's and it's
love,
substantive.
People falling in love with is a process.
It sure is, yeah.
It's a process. It's not
Like in real life.
Like
Like
in real life. Yeah.
It's a process.
Hope, right?
Like in real life, it's complicated, it's involved, it's intriguing, this, that, and the third. In an American, we ain't got time for them to fall in love. We got to do the sex scene.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why so I don't know if that's better. To me, I would.
I think it holds
prefer
your.
listening
I think it holds my interest a lot longer. Those shows.
Yes.
You know, because first of all, scenery is different, and it's a beautiful scenery. And then you start really getting into it as far as the characters and the storyline.
And the police chief has a family as go
Yeah.
home too, and he just looked like an ordinary tired man.
Well,
That's what the job does to the entire job.
he goes to work like the lawyer does, or anyone else, the doctor or the plumber. He's just another guy.
Yeah. He comes home. He's got different problems once he walks in the door. That's real. That is real. I mean, you know, I can testify to that. My father would come home, and you know, okay, down there he was the chief. He comes home, and he's dad.
Yeah.
You know, or he's Jim. You know, and another set of problems. The house.
Yes.
You know, mom is saying something to him, and the phone calls have got to be returned. Oh, by the way, and we need a new washing machine. You know.
But in England, you know, the police are not armed.
They are now.
You know, there's armed police.
Yeah, the Bobbies, English
but
Bobbies.
Most of the police, but it's a different culture. So the police officer is much more a member of the community.
Yes.
Who's
People know
it's
him.
just it's a different culture. Here, it's kind of like a cowboy culture.
Yes.
That's how they see it too.
Wild West.
It's a cowboy. Shoot first, ask questions later. Shoot from the hip, you know, just draw and shoot.
Yeah. And even though they may be, in some cases, they're not part of the community, and that's the problem.
Thinking culture, just put
more intellectual. Yeah, I think it is.
I don't know. I don't know that it's more intellectual. I think that television presents a more intellectual, the programming. Mm-hmm. But then don't forget, there's Benny Hill too. So. Monty Python.
Python, yes. It doesn't get too intellectual.
You know, he was you know, our view of what British TV is what we're presented through things like
they really
PBS and things like that. So
they push the envelope.
I don't think we have a real full appreciation for all of the offerings.
I liked when I was young, they had a program on television. Mark, you probably neither one of you probably remember that.
What's it called?
It was Mark. The guy's name was Mark Saber, and he was a detective. Yes, he was a one-armed detective.
Oh man!
And I loved the show, and they never bring it back. That but I would love.
Ironside.
It does show up on Cozy, but it hasn't been in a while.
Yeah.
That show was really itself.
What?
Ironside. Yeah.
Ironside. Who was that?
Raymond Burr.
Raymond Burr. Yeah.
Yeah, Raymond Burr. Don.
He was a lawyer or a cop?
Galloway. He was
a cop. Then
Chief Ironside.
Yeah.
He had a naval background, I think.
And he was shot.
He was shot in a burglary of some sort. They broke into the house.
He was shot, and that's how he got paralyzed.
Right.
In fact, the opening theme has him getting shot down.
Right. Yeah. You see the crosshairs. Right. But I never knew how it until I watched one of the episodes how they recapitulated it.
The new.
The old.
Oh, the old.
Yeah, the original with Raymond Burr. They showed how it happened, and I said, okay. And then how all the characters kind of got in, how he got involved with all of them. Don Mitchell, the black character, Mark Sanger.
Yeah, he was the driver.
Yeah, but he was the wayward kid that Ironside pretty much rescued from the street.
Mm-hmm.
And said, all that anger that you have, you need to be working it constructively. And in the end, Mark ends up being the driver, but he also
ends pushing him around.
pushing him around. But it was one of the investigators, and he also ended up going to law school, which they showed that, and I thought that was interesting for that time. And he ends up becoming a lawyer and then ultimately a judge in the end. So it was very interesting. The women, Barbara Anderson, and then there was another one that came on afterwards. Don Galloway's character. Yeah, it was all, and then just what you saw, because it took place in San Francisco. So you got to see the diverse cultures and everything. And again, this is the mid to late 60s.
Yeah, these were like cutting edge.
Yeah.
Julia,
that's right, Julia.
That's what my son was named, Corey.
Yeah.
Corey. Oh, there it is.
Yes, after Julia's son.
Julia's son
name
was
my
Corey.
son.
Yeah.
One of my best friends named him. We said if he's a girl, if it's gonna be a girl, I was gonna name him. I forget the name I had picked out, and the boy he was gonna name him.
Yeah.
And so
people name their kids after celebrities.
Corey, but
Corey was Julia's son. She was a nurse.
yes.
The courtship of Eddie's father. What was the kid's name?
Brandon Cruz was the actor, but I don't remember the kid's name.
Because he was a single dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Julia was a single mom.
Right.
She was a nurse. You had I Spy, which was Bill Cosby and
Robert Culp.
Robert Culp.
Right.
Yeah. What else was on?
And that was really neat.
Mod Squad.
And we just lost Clarence Williams III.
Mod Squad. That was
Yeah, another one. Yeah. Yeah, those were solid programs, good programs.
Yeah. And then before those were things like Sergeant Friday. What was that Friday?
Dragnet.
Do you remember the streets?
Just the facts,
Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts.
Just the facts. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the streets of San Francisco?
Carl Malden
Yes.
and Michael Douglas. Yeah.
Yes.
The younger, older dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the old seasoned cop and the young.
You remember that
rookie,
in those
the Rookies, wasn't that a show?
Yes,
the Rookies.
George Sanford Brown.
in those days,
Gerald O'Loughlin. Yeah.
we had all those shows up until June. Then it was the summer session. That was totally different than
The seasons would change.
season.
Yes.
The
Summer
season. So
season.
we had the summer programs, and if we loved them, we just hope they'd be back in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
But
Police Story. Remember Police Story?
Police Story, yeah.
That was realistic, and that also gave you that whole 360 view of the life of the police. But again,
Police Story went.
It started with the Blue Night.
arrest.
No, yeah, but
Then
the
it
Blue
went
Night,
to the court. Right?
Yeah,
Wasn't.
Yeah, but the Blue Night was actually the kickoff. So the Blue Night that Joe Wambach wrote, and then from Blue Night came Police Story. So that was the spinoff, where you had all these episodes, and also you had Police Woman. So it was like,
Woman.
yeah,
Okay.
it was a threest of that Blue Night. But that was real. I thought the Police Story was very realistic because
Police Story was. Now, also Hill Street Blues.
Hill Street Blues. Yeah.
See, that's when television changed.
Yeah.
There, because you had to actually watch it.
Right.
For a while, television became something that you just it was on.
It was on, right? But those were serious.
But you had to pay attention to those.
Yeah.
Because the story unfolded, and you had to watch it.
And it was realistic.
Yeah,
Very
those were
realistic.
very,
Yeah, I mean, roll
particularly
call.
for their day.
Yeah, I mean, police.
Yeah.
When the sergeant comes in, he does the roll call. The sergeant is seasoned. He's out there. He knows what's happening. What do they tell the guys?
So
Let's
what do we
be
have?
careful out there.
What do we have today? All we have is Police Stories on now.
But
Right,
police,
but
it's
they're
different.
different.
Now. It's different now.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not the
different.
same.
They're different. Then the police were respected,
Right.
Yes.
and the messaging was that the police were the Blue Knights. They were there to help you. They weren't seen as, the enemy, and it was just the culture was different.
Right.
and there's been this effort to do,
Kojak. Remember Kojak?
I remember Kojak. Kojak was Kojak was that Who Loves You, Baby, right?
Yeah, Kojak.
Telly Savalas.
Telly
Yeah,
Savalas,
with the
that's
lollipop.
right.
Yeah, Telly Savalas. Now Telly Savalas was a bad guy in a Bond movie. He played.
always played a bad
He always
guy.
played bad guy, and
He
he had
always
hair.
Didn't he?
And he
Did,
had
did
hair.
he play? Was he one of the? Was he Blofeld? Did
I
he
don't
play
remember that.
Blofeld?
I just remember him from even some of the old.
That was the only thing.
Alfred
he was
Hitchcock.
a good guy, and I never saw him as a good guy.
Yeah,
he
no,
was
he always
a
played.
bad
Yeah, he
guy.
always played.
Kojak, he was a good guy.
Yeah, that was the only thing. But
Yeah.
everything else I've ever seen him in
Oh, was bad.
was he was a bad guy.
Well,
Bad guys pay good.
Starsky and Hutch,
Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
Beretta.
Beretta. Yeah. Yeah, TV was different. TV was
Keep
different.
your eye on the sparrow.
Sammy Davis.
Yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. sang that song. That was back when the opening theme to every television show was 5 minutes.
It's true.
Because they sang the whole song,
They did sing.
And you had the whole little mini movie, and
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But when they sang the songs, you always saw the scenes from the show.
Yes.
So you always got to, and the characters and yeah,
don't do it.
don't do it.
Yes, and then came Miami Vice.
I love
Now, Miami Vice was a whole new.
I was down there when they were filming those
that
shows.
was like
Yeah, I mean they really Miami. It put Miami
it's like a
back
motion
on the
picture
map.
every week.
Yeah, it put Miami back on the map because Frank Sinatra used to do the Tony Roma. Tony Roma movies down there, old Miami Beach. So now you got the 80s with Philip Michael Thomas and Don Johnson. You got the music, you got the speedboats, you got Miami on the waterfront. I still hear the song.
Cocaine flowing from glory.
The Gianni Versace clothing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, but they, vice and narcotics. You got to dress to blend in down there. When you can't show up in a 3-piece suit, you got to look like the folks you're dealing with. But it was Lieutenant Castillo. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I had
yeah.
a friend, one of my friends from the family. Man, she had a love affair with him. She just thought he was the bomb. That serious intensity. Find them. I mean. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Very
TV today is not like that.
No. And you had to watch it. I mean, I knew that Friday at 10 p.m. Miami Vice was on and I was going to watch the episode. Didn't miss it. Didn't miss an episode. Well, it was personal to me too. I love Miami.
Miami Vice was the #1 show.
It sure was.
Yes.
And that meant people were home on Friday watching it.
Yeah. Well, I loved
That's
it.
right.
I mean, because Miami is like my second home. I mean, my mother was from there. And so, and then I'd been visiting it since I was like an infant. So every time I would watch it, and then you see a scene and you say, oh, I know where that is. And, yeah, it really, it put the city on the map in a good way too.
So what do we have now? What's on TV now
That you really want to watch.
That makes you want to
that
watch.
you really want to watch? Kids don't even watch TV. They watch stuff online or they're playing games.
It's hard for me now to point to one program, and because I'm so busy, I don't really even have time to watch one program. My mother loves Blue Bloods because she likes Tom Selleck. Now he's an older version now, a more seasoned version.
Right, and Blue Bloods is a cop show. Your
Yes.
mother was married to a police chief.
Yeah, it's pretty. But again, I think that show has certain elements where you see the family, because you got 3 generations there. You've got the father, the son, and the grandchildren of the Regan family. So it's and they all get together.
In Chicago?
No, that's
Or
New
New
York.
York?
And they all sit down to dinner. Oh,
yeah, they all sit down to dinner on Sunday.
Yeah.
The table has gotten a little wider lately. There've been some divorces and marriages. So yeah, but you're dealing with, and they all interact with each other in the course of policing. So it's
I love the part that they sit down to dinner.
Yeah,
because I could remember sitting down to dinner with my family, and it had to be in the house at a certain time because dinner was going to be served. And
right.
You simply always, you never had a watch or anything, but you knew what dinner time. And
My mom had a bell.
Really?
A bell, yes. I'm sure that bell is still at my dad has it.
He has it now.
Maybe my sister has it. My dad.
And she'd ring the bell. Huh?
She would ring a bell. So when it was dinner time, she would ding 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 ding.
So she didn't yell.
I hear her yelling. Yes, she yelled.
Oh yeah, my mother yelled.
Stanley, Laurie. Oh my God! And so your mom's ringing the bell.
The kids will tell you.
Oh my God! We would run home. We were kids, but we lived in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I will never forget that. 7131 Lincoln Drive. Yep.
So that's so that show reminds me of.
I think what's interesting in that show is that the men do all of the cooking and the preparation. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is the Selleck family Italian?
In the show?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Selleck. No, Regan. So they're Irish.
Regan.
Yeah, Regan. Yeah, they're Irish.
I don't mean the Selleck family.
Selleck. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Like Tom Selleck family.
That's
Regan
because
family.
the grandfather is the retired one. He's
right.
The only
He's
one
the retired.
Home. Everybody else works.
Everybody works. Yeah.
So he's the cook.
He's the cook.
He's basically the cook because sometimes one of the other fellas, not the women, will cook.
There's some who would suggest that they've domesticated the man.
But I think from his character.
But men.
I think his character. I think he really likes doing that.
Yes.
Right.
He enjoys it, and some men find that very relaxing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wish my father would do more of it.
Cook.
Yeah.
He likes to eat.
But he'll do breakfast. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to get him to learn to do the dinner stuff, the dinner prep. Because he's not a lunch guy. It was lunch when he was on the job, but now it's 2 meals and breakfast and dinner, and so by the time I come in, I'm but he'll never do it.
Well, for breakfast today, I'll have coffee and chocolate mousse cake.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's my. That's breakfast.
What kind of cake?
Chocolate mousse.
Wow.
That's your breakfast?
That's going to be breakfast.
Well, I'll give you a little caffeine for a little bit at least.
Yeah. I would do a more substantial breakfast, but it takes time to cook it, and I don't want to take the time because I have other things to do. Actually, I got to go from here down to Granger or by Airport Road for those who get it done. Granger.
Oh. Sounds like fun. Is this a project or a client?
Well, I'm getting plastic. Think of a plastic bag. Mm-hmm. It's 3 inches wide and 750 feet long.
Wow.
So that I can run those cables, see those cables? Mm-hmm. In, because it might rain tomorrow.
Oh.
So I have to shield the cables with this plastic. Mm-hmm. So if it rains, that's not designed for outdoors, designed for indoor.
Yeah.
And so I have to make an adaptation. So I have to go pick that up. Then I have to go out to Best Buy and return an item. Fun. And then I'll go to Cables and Connectors on the Berlin Turnpike.
Wow.
And pick up what I should have gotten in the first place.
Interesting.
And then that should bring me to about noon. And I have a wedding today I have to shoot.
Well, that sounds
I have to shoot a wedding. I have to be there at 2:30.
Wow.
Oh, I think you're overbooked.
Yeah.
Right, so I won't nap. The nap is not off. The nap is off the schedule. After I get done the wedding, I'm good. But then I have to take all of this apart
Oh, yeah.
and pack it up for tomorrow. And then tomorrow at 6 o'clock, 6:30, I'll be in Bushnell Park setting up for
In the morning? Oh, boy.
for the parade
Oh, the parade.
that steps off at 1 o'clock. So I'll be in the park for 5 hours before the parade begins.
So you're not gonna be at African American.
And I still have to be at I'll be at the African American Alliance meeting. Because the African American Alliance meets virtually.
Okay.
So,
you're gonna
we
do it
can
in
be
the car anywhere.
right. We have members join us from their cars. They're
Yeah.
driving all over the place. People are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mobile.
Now, and our guests join us from cars, and it's
Yeah, the rush to home to get on a call is gone. You don't do that anymore.
yeah. Nowadays, you don't have to be at the meeting.
No.
You need to join the meeting.
Right.
And it's quite. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, you're not rushing to meet. I see. You're not.
Listen,
a lot of people
I did
are
my
not.
first virtual Mary Kay appointment a couple of weeks ago. I said, I'm never going back into the house again. I said I was not out of time. I was not out of anything, out of sales or
You
anything.
didn't have to use that gas.
I didn't have to use the gas. All I did was turn on the camera and started talking. And I was able to do the same presentation with one person and I could do unlimited amounts of people. And I didn't have to worry about running around, squirting things on trays and checking for foundation matching.
You know.
And then when you were done,
Turn the camera off.
you're going about your business.
That's right, and direct them to my website. I say, okay, you like what you saw? Here's how you get it. Here's the way it comes.
Well, I got my Zoom working finally.
Yeah.
I called you for a little advice, and I finally got
What was wrong?
I have no idea because I kept trying. I don't know that I did anything different. And that last time I tried, I just I turned it off like you said. I turned it back on. I still had no picture, so I did it slowly, and I clicked on everything and it came out. It came out. It was a very cloudy picture though on my old laptop.
It could be the camera.
I don't think I could. Do they see me as cloudy as I see me?
They might.
So I might,
You'll trust me. It won't take long. You'll figure it out very, very quickly because it's like best practices, policies, and procedures. There's only one way for it to be good, and you will get there very quickly because there's only so many things to do. So then you'll get a new camera, but you're using what are you using, your iPad?
I have used my iPad, which has a much better picture.
Yeah.
But I was using my laptop.
Old laptop.
My old laptop.
See, yeah.
And
yeah, you're
it
better
was,
off using your the
Yeah.
iPad.
It was.
Yeah, the old laptop, the camera in the old laptops is very, very. It's not high definition, and it really was never really designed to do what they are doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's better to just use my laptop. I mean my iPad.
Either your iPad or you can get an external camera that will have a little thing that will fit on top of your camera. I mean on top of your old computer, and it just plugs in and it'll give you a nice crystal clear high definition picture. And then the more you do it, you'll want to get better looking picture. You get your lights together, and next thing you know, you'll have a little.
Oh, I got on and then I hated my.
You'll be sitting in one of
background,
these
and I hated-
things.
Yeah, I've learned a lot to work with Zoom now because for the longest time I had the camera off, and so we meet virtually for my unit meeting, and we have people as far as from Hawaii, Washington State, San Diego, so everybody's, but the quality and again working with you, Stan, with the lighting. That has really helped me out a lot. So put the light in front, and then boom, everything opens up.
Yeah, think of it this way. In the old days, when you went into the office and you had on your office attire, okay, and there's still some who say that the return to work, those who return to work will be those who get the raises and the promotions because they will be seen. You have to interface with the person who's going to give you, like your boss. And so, the boss will see you, you'll see the boss, and you always have your best face on and your best attire when you ask for the raise and all that kind of stuff. Well, the same kind of applies online. And so instead of having the corporate dress look, what they see is the same thing they see when you watch the news. Your face. Your face is the most important thing in a broadcast. So you want to look good, which means you have to be lit well. So you need 3 basic lights. Your key light, which is your main source of light. Your fill light, which eliminates the shadows caused by the key light. And your backlight, which separates you from the background. Otherwise, you look flat in the background. It looks like you're just sitting in the wall or the background. It's like around you. And people are very sophisticated because they watch TV and in high production value content all day. To them, you're just something else on the screen. So they expect you to look the same. And when you don't, it may be unbiased, but it'll still be, or bias, whatever you want to call it. But they'll draw a conclusion. If they don't see you looking good, they won't process you as good. So if you look good on the camera, you want to look good on camera. And here's another little secret for you all. Let people see you. Your name is cool, but that's not. They don't identify with you because you're not there.
Oh.
And you two could probably attest to this. Anytime there is a monitor in the room, people will look at the monitor before they look at the human beings in the room. So if you have someone talking on a stage and you have a monitor next to them, they'll look at the monitor.
Instead of the person.
Instead of the person.
So if you don't look good on the monitor,
forget it.
But people watch the TV. They'll watch the monitor. It just is.
They'll watch the monitor.
They'll watch the monitor.
I look at the monitor more than I look at you.
I know, but this is a phenomenon. So, yeah. I always take a monitor when I do it. I'm giving away a production tool. Anytime you do a shoot, take a monitor. People like to see themselves. If the client sees themselves, you allow them to have an experience they don't have with anyone else. So, if they get someone else, that person won't have a monitor. Like,
so you really
I don't like them. No, it's not that they don't like them. You don't like that you can't see yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So if you came in here and saw that, it would be very disappointing. Is it off?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it would be very disappointing. You would be forced to look at me.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then I couldn't see me. I couldn't see me?
Yes. After doing public access television for 20 plus years every day. One of the secrets of public access television is it doesn't matter that no one's watching. Because the person doing the show, that needs to be muted. The person doing the show is watching themselves.
So that's all they need.
And as long as they can see themselves, they're good. They don't need to see anyone else.
Oh, that's funny.
And you go watch. It's funny when you watch, because you have to teach people not to do this. But you can watch. Now, some people were really bad. My buddy Nora Wyatt, bless his heart, rest in peace, bless him. He was the worst. Because once Nora came on the air, you could tell who he's looking at himself. How y'all doing? You're looking at yourself. You make direct eye contact with yourself. Like now I'm looking directly. I'm looking at me in the screen. Mm-hmm. That's why I never ever look at me. I always look away.
Oh.
I always look away because I'm not looking at the person. It's very intimidating to look at people directly. Kids don't like it. Stop looking at me. That's natural.
Dogs don't like it either.
Right. Now, if I look directly at the lens, like now I'm not looking at me. Now I'm looking at the audience directly. So if you want to chastise or chide somebody, you look directly in the circle. And you look directly at it. And you can almost like you're looking into them. You can establish that on television. It's a very, very powerful position to be in on TV. It's a very dangerous medium. Oh. And there unfortunately are people who use that to a marked advantage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so in doing this, if you're setting up something on Zoom that you want to do consistently, you actually need a system. You actually need to be well lit, to have a good background, to look good.
It doesn't take much. A little video production workshop or something.
I'm looking at myself right here, and that's not how I look when I was on my.
That's the lighting. Like I can make you look horrible.
It's the lighting.
Now you look dark and menacing.
But,
all she needs is a black hat and a black coat.
But
right. And if you're not lit well,
yeah,
it makes a difference. Or I could overexpose you, and that would look just as bad. So you have to have the lighting has to be right, and depending upon the conditions of the room, the sun may rise. Gets cloudy, it changes the color temperature of the room. So there's little tiny things, but someone has to be aware of it. And if you're not, and then sometimes people will move, like if you move back and forth, the white in the background, those pages on the wall, will cause your camera's iris to open and close. So it opens and closes during the time that you're on. It's very annoying to the viewer, but they have to communicate with you so they continue to watch, but subconsciously they're annoyed. So people are totally unaware of these things, but the folks who master these things will excel in remote exchanges. So if you watch people who lecture or things like that, notice how they are set up. Like we do the shows on Monday.
Yeah.
Some of the guests, you'd think they were in a broadcast studio. Others, they're holding the phone. They're not paying attention. They're really not into it. So kind of like guide them through. And then you can make sure that you are always centered in the screen. You know. But if you don't know, you don't know. But once you know. Yeah.
You got it.
Right. I'll give you a workshop. My wife and I do these workshops all the time.
Well, I
we can give you a workshop, and you'll never you'll stop watching television.
I never good because I need a workshop. I need all the help that I could get to start my my little idea here.
Yeah, because once you know, then you know what to look for, and then you can see. You can see what they're doing because you know what they're doing. It's not that difficult. It's just that people don't know. So ignorance is bliss.
For somebody else.
Yeah, unless you're on the Titanic. Nice to know that before you leave port.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, there will be an accident.
Yeah. You might want to take another ship. Mm-hmm. You know that thing they said about the ship being unsinkable? It isn't true.
They are not in control.
Mm-mm. All right, well, this was a fun show.
Sure was.
Yeah. A little lighthearted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not so doom and gloom.
Learned a little bit.
Yeah.
Learned a little bit, and that's good.
Mm-hmm. You know, your buddy Sid is running for mayor again.
Really?
Yeah, in Bloomfield.
He's going to do it?
He's on the ticket.
He's on the ticket.
Yeah.
He's on the slate with him. You know?
The old crew that was ousted, I think, is coming back.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. The machine is like a boomerang.
Yeah.
You throw it out, but guess what?
It comes back.
He comes back. Yeah.
It's coming back.
All
wow,
right.
I got to see this.
Tell me who? Sid who?
Sid Schulman,
Sid
Sid
Schulman.
Schulman is going to run for mayor of
Bloomfield.
Bloomfield. Okay.
Wow.
He's in Bloomfield. Okay.
Yeah.
So how many tickets, how many slates do they have so far? Two,
Well,
I think.
I
right?
think there's the challenge slate. The Beetham Brown is the mayor now.
Yeah.
But there's an effort to remove her, so yeah. Because remember, they went in there and they wiped out the machine.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So now the machine is
Oh
angry.
my gosh, the machine wants to come back.
The machine is a machine. That's they call
And
it
they've
the
been
machine
working all this time to
for
come
a
back.
reason.
They want to come back. Oh.
It'll be interesting to see what the outcome is.
Very.
Well, how did these new people do?
I don't know. I don't follow Bloomfield politics.
Well, we'll have to talk to our contacts in
Yeah,
Bloomfield to find out.
All right. Well, we're out of time. All right, my friends, you all have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. The parade is this weekend. It's going to be down in Bushnell Park, so go down to Bushnell Park and enjoy yourselves. All right,
Stay
Miss
cool.
Vicky.
Yes, stay cool, everybody. Drink lots of water.
All right,
Slow down.
Yep, Miss Cleo. We'll see you. See you next week.
Okay.
Oh no. We won't be here next Friday.
Oh,
Next
thank
Friday?
you for
Next
that.
Friday, yeah.
Oh,
I almost forgot. Yeah,
Okay,
no
good.
show next Friday.
No
Okay.
show next Friday.
No live show next Friday.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all. We'll see you. See you
Bye.
next
Bye.
time.
You have a great week.